So sometimes there are stories that seem small until you start pulling on the thread. A few months ago, most of us had never heard of Trinidad, Texas. It's a tiny town of about 900 people, an hour and a half-ish southeast of Dallas. But somehow, this little community found itself making national and even international headlines over something most of us take for granted every day: water. Residents began complaining about the quality of their drinking water. Questions started circulating. A woman made a post on Facebook asking people to contact her if they'd experienced health problems that might be connected to the water. Then things escalated really quickly. She was arrested. Lawsuits took place. People lost their jobs. Local officials pushed back. Citizens pushed back harder. And what started as a conversation about water suddenly became a conversation about something much bigger. Who gets to ask hard questions? Who's allowed to challenge authority? And what happens when trust between a community and its leaders completely breaks down?
What's really fascinating about this story is that almost every side claims they're protecting the public. City leaders say they're trying to prevent panic and misinformation. Critics say they're trying to suppress criticism and avoid accountability. Law enforcement says they were enforcing the law. Citizens say their constitutional rights were violated. And the truth is, this isn't as simple as good guys and bad guys. If someone spreads information that turns out to be false, should there be consequences? Maybe. But what if they were simply asking questions? What if they were trying to investigate a potential problem? Where exactly is the line between protecting the public and protecting free speech? Those questions aren't unique to Trinidad. They're questions we're wrestling with across the entire country right now.
Honestly, before we get too deep into the politics and legal arguments, I keep coming back to one simple question. If your tap water suddenly looked strange, smelled strange, or made you nervous, what would you do? Would you trust the people in charge when they told you everything was fine? Would you start asking questions? Would you post on social media? Would you call your neighbors? Would you want someone sounding the alarm on your behalf? Because most people don't wake up wanting to be activists or whistleblowers or plaintiffs in a lawsuit. Most people just want clean water, honest answers, and confidence that the people running things are acting in the community's best interest. Today, we're going to talk about the water itself, the arrests, the lawsuits, the constitutional questions, the role of social media, and why a story from a town with fewer than 1,000 residents has become a conversation about trust, power, and democracy in America. Welcome to Two Millennials and Mom.
I'm Callie.
I'm Cole.
And I'm Mom.
Okay, from the top, what's going on in Trinidad?
There's a water problem. That's
like an icky water problem.
Allegedly.
Would you call it alleged when you've
For our protection, I'm going to say allegedly.
Sure.
Okay.
But would you call it that when you turn on your faucet in your white tub and it starts filling up with brown water? Like, I feel like that's kind of a brown flag.
Sure. That said, what if it's just that person's tub? Maybe it's not everybody's. And I'm just playing the devil's advocate here. Maybe it's not across the entire city, town.
Okay. Which leads us to our dilemma.
Kind of. But the city has announced a boil water notice that is in effect. So that, again, is raising a flag that something is amiss. And then maybe you talk to your neighbor and say, hey, neighbor, I just turned on my bathtub and my water's brown. Is your water brown? And neighbor says, my water's brown too. And I was talking to my buddy across the way, and his water is brown too. Then you've got the mayor of the town who's come out and said, like, hey, something's going on. There's an issue. But it's just due to the aging pipes that were put in place in 1950. This is a long time coming. Is that supposed to make me feel better?
It wouldn't.
I mean, we all know me. Callie's a doer. Callie's ready to get shit done. So no, it wouldn't make me feel better. I would say, okay, so Mr. Mayor, what are we going to do about this?
Yeah.
How are we going to fix this? Because this water is gross. Would either of you just say, like the mayor said, hey, the pipes are getting old. They've been in place for over 70 years. Are you just going to be like, okay?
Oh, I would say, so what are we going to do about it?
Yeah. I'd be asking. And I would
Is
also
it up
know,
to me to figure this out for myself, or is this something that we're doing as a community to resolve?
how far does
Because I
this
need
go?
to know, because obviously I can't drink this.
Right.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't be bathing in this.
Right.
I have to go to work.
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder how much uproar there needs to be before the mayor openly comes out and says, oh, something has to be done. Not just, well, this is a cause, but this is
Okay.
the cause and we need to treat it.
This is a little
Okay.
bitty town
Sure.
that probably doesn't have a lot of money, assuming. And so, I mean, I get maybe not being quite as direct as you would want them to be on this.
I don't. Here's the thing. This is factual information. There is a problem with our pipes. There is no need to be dodgy about this, to be wishy-washy. Well, maybe it's a problem. Maybe it's not a problem. It's pretty clearly an issue. Allegedly.
Okay.
So anyways, we know that there's something going on with the water in Trinidad. Then what?
I mean, so like I said, I would immediately ask the people that I know, hey, where does this stretch to? Is this just my side of the street? Is it my whole street? Is it my whole neighborhood? Is it the whole town?
You'd
Is
be
it the whole
looking
state
for
of Texas?
You'd be looking for a Reddit group on
Oh, you know I would.
Trinity Water. I
This is
can
more of a
see it now.
Facebook thing.
So a woman, Jennifer Combs, came out with a Facebook page or a post that said, and I want to read this verbatim just so that we have it very clear. She put on her Facebook page, Southern Bell Watch, we have received reports that some citizens have been hospitalized due to bacteria in the water. This is a serious public health concern that deserves immediate attention. If your water looks discolored, contains sediment, has a strong odor, or you have experienced health-related issues, please send us a message. We are gathering information and reporting findings to the state. We are aware that not all areas of Trinidad are experiencing these issues. However, if your water is affected, your information could help identify patterns and ensure the problem is addressed properly. Please include your area or neighborhood, no exact address needed, photos or videos of the water if available, dates and times the issue occurred, any notices you may have received, any health concerns you're willing to share. Your information can help bring attention to this issue and support efforts to improve water quality for everyone. If you have information or your water looks like this, please send us a message. Raise your hand if you're immediately panicking and freaking out and alarmed.
I am not, but I could see I could see some people who would.
And what do you think that panic alarm looks like? Are they selling their houses? Are
Some
they
of them might.
burning them down? Are they
Well, that doesn't really
putting
solve the problem.
hazmat suits on? Are they storming the mayor's office with pitchforks and torches?
Unlikely.
Okay,
I mean, eventually, maybe.
maybe.
It does call into question why Jennifer posted. I mean, if the city had posted that, it would make total sense. City's trying to, figure out what's going on and so that they can plan. But she's just a resident in Trinidad, right?
Yes, she's just a mom.
Okay.
Well, the police chief didn't take the same approach to it that we are. The police chief tended to get a little up in arms about this and had her arrested. And had her arrested under the charge, I guess, that false information that creates fear, panic, or unnecessary emergency response within a community.
It was a felony, right?
Ooh. Yes, a felony, false alarm, or report.
Yeah, you're trying to go the next place as to why. Of all of the crap that shows up on Facebook,
Yeah.
why would
Yeah,
he
okay.
take offense here?
You better go get all of CNN, all of Fox News, all of the New York Times, pretty much any major news outlet in both regional, municipal, nationwide. You better go lock all of them up.
And the President of the United States.
Everybody.
Everybody.
He has executive immunity.
Okay.
I mean, but I've posted stupid shit on Facebook before. Like, every now and then I post, like, especially, I'm a millennial, right? I used to post song lyrics, and they didn't make any sense. They were just song lyrics. It didn't
But they
mean
didn't-
anything.
They didn't cause a panic. Did hers cause a panic?
Did it
Not
cause a panic,
that-
or did the police chief and just not like that she was the one reporting it and not the city, not him?
Or did it cause a panic among the police chief?
And why? Because that has nothing to do with his job. The water department would be totally separate from the police department.
Well, and my question becomes, who's allowed to raise awareness, raise concern, and say, guys,
Yeah.
this is weird. Is this happening to you too? Who's allowed to do that if not a resident? And in what forum are you allowed to do that? Well, you can't do it online. You can't do it on social media. You can't do it on the number one, like, worst false misinformation website around. I guess that would be Twitter. But
I don't know. I
It-
don't know
it
that there's
seems-
one specifically, but
based on research alone, there's more false information that is passed on Twitter or X, I guess, than any other. But I do believe Facebook is a quick second.
It definitely feels like an overreaction.
Yeah.
Feels like
So
something.
we can get into the semantics of that. Let's tell the rest of the story here.
Okay.
So police chief has Mrs. Combs arrested for basically crying wolf.
Felony, false alarm, or report.
Yeah. Felony, false alarm, or report, which is crying
Crying
wolf.
wolf.
Now, one, is it false?
Doesn't sound like it.
Doesn't really seem to be.
But
So-
is it factual? Can it be false if it isn't factual? Hey, I have heard about something. If this has impacted you, please raise your hand.
Yeah.
There's not really any facts to it. How can it be false if there is no truth?
Yeah. It's like an inquiry instead
Yeah.
of stating of facts.
It's a question. Now, I could still understand how it could be interpreted as
Felony, false alarm, or report?
as a report, not as a felony, but as a report. So this is a post, and this is just an excerpt from the post by the Trinidad Police Department. Under Texas law, specifically Texas Penal Code 42.06, false alarm or report, a person commits an offense if they knowingly initiate, communicate, or circulate a report of an emergency that is false or baseless and that would cause action by emergency services, place the public in fear of imminent serious bodily injury, or disrupt normal public activity or services.
Which she didn't
The part-
call it an emergency,
Nor is it baseless.
nor is it baseless. And so
Nor did it disrupt any normal public activity or services. She didn't ask for anything to be done other than for you to reach out to me to say, hey, this is weird
Yeah.
for me too.
Yeah.
Right. So, and maybe this is a different wording than what they posted here, but it says that would. I think that generally they would also interpret that as could. Oh, she said something, it could have this response.
Is that how we are going to legislate? Could is how we're going to legislate things?
Yes, that's literally already how we do.
I mean, legally, you could have that definition.
Conspiracy to commit murder.
Yeah.
And they could have killed him. And again, I'm just playing the devil's advocate for much of this. But let's continue.
But
Police chief
I'm stuck on could because I could kill somebody every time I get in the car, intentionally or not. But we still get in the car. We still give out driver's license. We still put stop signs up and speed limits. Like,
and you
we
don't get
can't,
arrested for getting into the car.
yeah, we can't legislate on what could happen.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
But you could be fined or arrested if your car does not meet safety standards, regardless if something happens from not meeting those safety standards or not.
Agreed.
That's true.
Agreed. But that is not what could happen. These are the rules that you did not abide by.
Right. But why are you being penalized for not meeting those rules? Because the result of you not meeting those rules could lead to harm to someone else.
The rules are already in place. It's like we talked about with Harvard the other day. We have set the standard. We have to live to the standard. We have to meet the requirements. We cannot change the goalpost.
Is there a rule about not being able to post your concern?
But you guys, this is kind of a weird question for you. And I feel real dumb asking it, but I'm going to ask it because I think that it's worth having a conversation about. Does your local police department count as government?
Yes.
So how would this not be infringing on her First Amendment rights?
It's a great question.
In my opinion.
Because we have talked about the First Amendment on several occasions. We did a whole episode about it. But the First Amendment is specifically between a citizen and their government to protect the citizen from the overreach of their government because you don't like something that the government is or isn't doing.
Right.
So how is that not being infringed upon here? If the government, aka the local police department, said, oh, she's not allowed to say that about us, she's not allowed to say that about our town, we're going to go arrest her for making this statement that we have decided we don't agree with. How is that not a violation of her First Amendment?
Yeah. Here's my weird question.
It quite clearly is.
But how do they not know that? This is their freaking job. You are the government.
You need to watch more cop videos.
Here's my question. I wonder how often the chief of police makes a decision and says, go arrest that citizen without there being a complaint or a violation reported.
Here's the thing. We don't know if there was a complaint or not. There could have been. Now, I am not an attorney, so I can't speak to whether her Facebook post specifically breaches Texas Penal Code 42.06 or not. But from the wording that the Trinidad Police Department uses relative to the wording that Ms. Combs uses, it certainly doesn't seem like it to me. There's no call to action. We have received reports of this. Can anyone else confirm it?
They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. Pre-presidential immunity. How is that any different? On a national stage, sans presidential immunity, spreading false information, even if it's false. How is that any different? I don't understand who gets to decide. Does the government get to decide
Apparently
if the government is going to allow you to say things? That doesn't feel like a functioning system.
Oh no, it's a functioning system. It's just not our system.
Fair.
It's the way the vast majority of systems governmentally have functioned throughout all of history. That's been the majority of them, just not ours.
I don't think asking those questions is going to interpret well as a false statement. Now, here's where my brain went. This is a small town. Most likely, everybody knows everybody. If this goes to court, it's everybody in the town that knows her and knows
the police chief.
The chief of police. How the heck is this going to play out in a little town like that where everybody knows everybody?
Talk about a jury of your peers.
I mean, seriously.
So what happened next?
Yeah.
After she was arrested?
Yes. She was arrested.
Spent the night in jail.
Yes. I think that there were more arrests. There were more people, like city employees who were terminated, who have then come back and filed suit for wrongful termination. 2 former Trinidad City employees are suing in a wrongful termination lawsuit, including the former water clerk who said that they were fired because they refused to lie on the city's behalf. And we can't legislate this via podcast. Like, that is not the goal. This is not, well, so-and-so's right and so-and-so's wrong. This is just in the news as to what's going on. So just for the record, it was Jennifer Combs that we just spoke about a minute ago. And then there was another guy who was protesting this, Winston Knowles, who was protesting her being arrested. And they arrested
outside of the city offices.
Yes.
With a sign that said something.
Yeah, I don't remember what his sign said. But then
Aggressive.
the mayor came in and now wants Texas Rangers to go investigate the water situation, as well as the police department, who, if I understood correctly, he originally sided with the police department and was like, yeah, no, she did this.
What are the Texas Rangers going to do about the water? That's not their job.
That's what I want to know.
Chuck Norris died this year, and so I think that we're just kind of screwed. I don't know.
Oh, now that song's going to be stuck in my head for a week.
Sorry. So there were, like I said, there were a couple of people who were fired. There was another arrest because he was protesting outside of City Hall. The city administrator fired both employees on the very same morning without any legitimate cause, according to their lawsuits. Yeah.
So now they've filed lawsuits on their wrongful terminations. Plus, Combs has filed a lawsuit against the police department or the police office, the
city
police
of
chief,
Trinidad.
The city.
the whole city. Oh my gosh. I mean, again, this is a little bitty town where everybody knows everybody. Can you imagine what is going on here? I mean, think about walking into the local diner. It's just going to be a disaster.
The sign, the offensive sign that was used in protest said, and I'll keep it clean for this, expletive bad cops.
Yeah.
I mean, he was arrested and charged with misdemeanor disorderly conduct for the sign.
Violation of his rights.
Also true.
There is solid case law on this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So
now the city of Trinidad's not going to be able to afford to fix their water because they're going to have to pay out all of these plaintiffs in these lawsuits that they're about to lose.
Oh, yeah.
True, too.
Oh, yeah.
Great, wonderful use of taxpayer dollars there.
Right? And you just have the mayor over here going, they're pipes from 1950s. It is what it is.
Let's get the Texas Rangers.
Yeah. Yeah. I just, whether or not there's actually problems with the water is completely irrelevant at this point because there's so much. I mean, the Real Housewives don't have this much drama in a season as these people do in
Here's
2 months.
I would get it if the Facebook post was, there's a problem with the water in Trinidad. It's going to kill you. We need to go and burn down the
City
courthouse right now, City Hall, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Until they fix it.
Revolt.
That would be one thing.
Yeah.
The post is, hey, someone reported this to us. Are you guys seeing the same thing?
Let us know.
Let us know.
And while I think that's a little wild on her part, and not saying that I wouldn't do it.
What's a little wild on her part?
Yeah.
Taking that responsibility of gathering all of the information could be seen as just a little strange.
Mom, what was the purpose of putting up your free library in your front yard? And why?
To share them.
Why do you want to share books?
I feel like this is a trick question. So other people can read books.
For what purpose? Why do they need to be reading books?
Because they're lovely.
And there have been some books in there that are a little less than lovely.
Maybe.
But neither here nor there. But I think that that's the whole thing. You're sharing information and resources.
You're trying to get me to say it was a community endeavor.
Yeah.
And you think hers, and I don't disagree with you. And I'm not saying that under certain circumstances, I wouldn't do that either. I think she did a really good job of saying, hey, this looks like a problem. Let me know if it really, yeah, is anybody else aware of this or having this same issue? I still think it should have been coming from the city if they were having this, if they were aware of it.
But
and
quite
if the
clearly,
city
the
had
city wasn't doing anything.
Yeah. But if they had, none of this would have happened.
Sure.
Everybody would have their job. Nobody would be protesting. Nobody would have gotten arrested.
Isn't like how do you feel about whistleblowers? What about Watergate?
Yeah. I mean, there is a reason for whistleblowers, and they're protected under the law.
Really?
So, but she wasn't really a whistleblower.
Yeah.
She
But
didn't
she was trying to gather information to act as a whistleblower if she gathered the information that indicated she needed to be.
Okay.
She has a Facebook post called Southern Belle Watch. Quite clearly, this is something that she does.
Okay. Now, see, I did not go there, but that makes sense. Okay.
I just think that it's less, what's the word that I'm looking for? I think that it's less malicious. I don't think that it has malicious intent. This is what's happening. This is what's going on. Gather your pitchforks. Let's go.
Yeah.
Has an air of malicious intent versus, hey,
I'm gathering this information to send to the state.
Do you have anything to add to it? And so I think that we've got to be really cognizant of the actual actions that are taken and how they're being censored.
So we have a note about confusing false speech and defamation and fraud and incitement and protected speech. Where does this fall?
I think that the courts will litigate that and let us know.
The court's already decided. Let's be real here. So Combs was arrested. It's already gone to grand jury, and they dismissed it.
Yes.
Because the arrest is
declined to indict.
How often does that happen?
I think it happens.
How often does it happen with something that they can win?
Well, that they don't indict. Well, not very often in the past.
Well, that's not really the grand jury's place. Do you have enough, and is this what we want? Are not the same questions. That's the prosecutor's job.
No, the grand jury is supposed to decide if it's worth sending on.
Right. You're correct, but not.
Can the state win?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm tracking with you there.
Is there a chance that the state can win? And
they came back and said,
was this a reasonable arrest?
This doesn't make sense.
Yes.
We're not going there. So, I mean, she didn't incite. I don't see how she did fraud.
The only call to action in the Facebook post is, if you're seeing something similar, let us know.
Yeah.
If you would be willing to share this information with us, please do.
Yeah. I mean, she doesn't even attack anybody for defamation. So
she points no fingers.
Yeah. It seemed a really, really wild thing.
Quite clearly, just an attempt to gather information.
So does it change if that information had been false?
What information?
That she provided. She said there had been reports of people getting sick.
We have received reports.
So would it be different if she hadn't actually received reports?
Would it have been different if she'd said that and there were no reports?
I mean, from the question a morality perspective, sure. From a legal
Facebook,
one,
maybe.
No.
Can you get arrested for spreading incorrect information?
If you're spreading
incorrect information.
Well, you better take pretty much all of the last 5 administrations.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not 5. No, probably 5 at least.
Way more than that. You need to take anybody who has reshared anything on Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, but I'm talking specifically about people's in the highest level of power. You've got the current administration. You've got the one before them. You've got the current administration again. You've got the Obama administration. You've got the Bush administration. You've got the Clinton administration. So we're talking about the last 6 presidencies, effectively, all of whom are well known for spewing bullshit. I mean, we literally spent 20 years in Afghanistan. Who knows how many young men and women in Iraq, I don't know the number off the top of my head, over known false claims of weapons of mass destruction.
I mean,
but we're going to hold
this
Ms.
lady
Combs
in
accountable
Trinidad,
in Trinidad, Texas for saying, hey, somebody else told me this. Is anybody else saying the same thing?
Well, and that brings into question who gets to decide what's true. So if the police chief says that's not true,
that's not his job.
It doesn't matter if it's true or not.
It isn't his job. He has no more authority over whether or not the truth is true than you or I do. That isn't his job. He is not the arbiter of truth. He cannot be. That's how government even has a chance of working. He cannot be the arbiter of truth.
How has he taken this in hindsight?
From what I have read, not well.
Not well.
Because his reaction has been
to double down.
At every turn, from what I have read.
Oh, bless his heart.
No.
Yeah.
Have the day you deserve, buddy.
Gosh.
Yeah. No.
So he just makes it look really bad. Bless his heart. I'm telling you, he's going to walk into the local cafe and there's going to be all kinds of crap that hits the fan when he walks in the door.
But that's why I think that this is such a microcosm of what's going on in our country right now. That's why I think that this is so relevant to be having these conversations. Because, Mom, there's a world where he walks into that same cafe and is lauded for being such a great police chief and taking care of us so well.
Yeah.
This is why I'm nervous.
Because of the different perspectives?
Because of the value that is being put on not only a lack of truth, but a perspective of corruption.
Does this fit corruption?
Depends where the money is. Why did he take it upon himself to say, oh, no, we're going to arrest her and the guy with the sign?
See, I don't know if that has anything to do with corruption or if that's just bad police work.
It could be any of the above.
It could be.
It's tyranny. It's literal tyranny. The residents of the town of Trinidad are saying so. The countersuit from Ms. Combs is saying so. I'd like to read the statement released by her attorney here real quick. The city of Trinidad has become a cautionary tale of what happens when unchecked ego masquerades as governance. At the center of this ongoing constitutional crisis is the case of Jennifer Combs, whose unlawful treatment by city officials exposed a pattern of corruption, retaliation, and abuse of power that has infected the entire municipal apparatus. Rather than course correct, city leadership has chosen to double down on its misconduct by engaging in an escalating campaign of retaliatory firings, punishing employees whose only offense was bearing witness to the truth or refusing to participate in the cover-up. The bitter irony is that the only individuals in this saga who have earned termination are Police Chief Gregory and City Councilwoman Marie Bannister, whose reckless abuse of authority and personal vendettas are not merely destroying careers, they are dismantling the institutional trust, public safety infrastructure, and financial stability of an entire community. Trinidad deserves leaders who serve its people, not officials who sacrifice them on the altar of wounded pride.
Now, just to say, that is her attorney.
Yes.
So
there's
these
a
are
bias.
all alleged.
There's a bias.
But they're taking the city of Trinidad to federal court.
Then, on top of all of this, the city itself has come under fire for these arrests, and all of the tempers have flared. And so the city council voted to fire the judge responsible for throwing out some of these charges that have been thrown out. They voted to dismiss Judge Shalina Bivens. on Thursday night.
Because she said they weren't justifiable charges?
Because she kind of gets mad. I have been a good judge, a damn good judge, I believe is what I said last time. I've done nothing illegal, she said during the city council meeting. Was it illegal for her to dismiss the ticket on Otto? I don't know who Otto is. Otto is the other guy with the sign, who is an independent journalist on YouTube. Otto the Watchdog is his thing. So again, it's not just a pissed off person. It's a member of the quote unquote press.
I mean, and it's two watchdogs against this.
Yes.
Does that change your attitude at all about them?
I don't know because I'm not familiar with them. But here's the thing. We need to be real about this. There are good watchdogs and there are bad ones.
Yes.
Just because you portray yourself as a watchdog doesn't mean you're doing it for the benefit of the public. It's not does not mean that you have the public's best interest at heart. You could be just doing it for money. You could be doing it for clicks. It's totally possible. And I don't know Jennifer Combs. I don't know anything about Southern Bell Watch or Otto and whatever his
Otto the
watchdog organization or YouTube channel is. Maybe he's great. Maybe they're both awesome. Maybe they're both awful. I don't know. Regardless, with the information that I have been presented, this is pretty clear-cut tyrannical behavior that I'm seeing displayed by the city of Trinidad and its officials.
So we know that she is a resident of Trinidad.
Right?
Is Otto a resident?
Doesn't matter.
Also true.
Well, I guess I was wondering about his goal. You know, what's his purpose in doing this? Is it clicks?
Maybe it is. Maybe it's to put bad policing and bad police practices on display. Because, I mean, there are tons of YouTube channels that do that. And again, some who do it very well and do it respectfully and are successful, and some who are really crummy about it. And they do it specifically for ad revenue, to get the clicks, to get the views, because they themselves have a massive ego. Now, that's not to say that the latter there cannot successfully bring about police reform. They certainly can. I don't think they would do it as well as someone who is there with integrity and genuinely looking out for the public's best interest.
Right.
They can both move the needle.
Again, I think that the part that worries me about all of this is not an isolated incident in a town of 852, 54 people. This is an instance that is being repeated all over this country.
It's a needle in a stack of needles.
Yes. Yes. That's a great way to put it. And I think that you can see why we as the public have such trust issues with our governments on whatever level, because there is no transparency, or there is very little transparency. We don't know what we can believe. We don't know what we can trust. We don't know who we can believe or who we can trust. There's so much corruption going on and chaos going on. This has taken it from being an isolated incident to being the needle in the needle stack. Well, and the fact that we think that this is normal is terrifying to me.
Bullying part of it.
The abuse of
lack
power.
of consequences.
The overreach.
The overreach. Yeah.
Wow.
And then you add in the internet. I mean, you guys, this is an hour and a half from where we grew up. I could not have told you where Trinidad, Texas was to save my life. And not only is it going on right under our noses, it's also going on right under our noses and over our heads. And if it's happening
in a little town like that, it just gets exponential the larger the area that we're talking about.
Oh, yeah. I know for a fact that there were all kinds of conversations along these same lines going on in Houston, the fourth largest city in the country, every day from every different angle. I spent many a day in commissioner's court saying, hold on. Slow your roll, guys. Let's talk about this. Hold on. You said this first. What does this mean? I mean, I am probably just as culpable as Jennifer is here.
Combs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you guys remember the hide your kids, hide your wife guy?
Yeah.
He is also culpable. He got on the news and he shared information that could be perceived as false or chaos inciting.
Yeah, for sure.
And
So
we made a song out of him and memes out of him, and we're going to arrest her.
So what do you think that solution is?
Fire the police chief. Probably look for a recall of the mayor and at least one city council member, it sounds like. But if the city council was able to vote to throw out a judge, what would censor be the correct term there?
Yes. It was a 3-person city council, if I understood correctly. And everyone else in the room was like, this is an illegal vote. You don't have this reach. You don't have the power, the authority to hold this vote right now, much less to enforce the outcome of these votes. This doesn't make sense. You are wrong. So yes, Cole, I think censoring them would be a great place to start.
But I mean,
what's that going to take?
Yeah. I started to say that's a little town and really a small, not that we don't need
you got
clean
954 people and 5 of them I know whose team they're on.
Yeah. But if it's a bigger issue that just gets exponentially bigger, not just a little town, but Houston, Texas, what's the solution? I mean, I come back to, and
pay attention to who you're voting for.
Yes.
I
don't vote for them again. I feel like we're beating the dead horse here, but
here's the deal. I just think we have got to stop saying and voting, well, I'm a Republican, so I can only vote for Republican. It doesn't matter if
they're horrible humans.
No morals, are horrible humans, but they're on my team, so I'm going to vote for them. We
need to stop having the damn teams. Again,
we've got to
I
bring
know
some
I'm beating
decency.
the dead horse here.
Yeah, we've just got to bring some decency back somehow.
Genuine decency, not pretend decency, not decency in front of a camera or on a stage.
Yes.
Genuine decency.
Yes. I mean, I keep going back to if this is not the person that you can be respectful to, then don't vote for them. If they've done things that have they've been indicted for or are charged with or convicted of, then don't vote for them.
I don't know if I can go with you on the charged with part, but convicted for sure.
Convicted.
Yeah. But I think that that's still a two-way street, though. It's not just if you can't be decent to them. If they can't be decent to you, don't vote for them either.
Yeah. We have some kind of mixed up thing to where we've decided that if we hear it one way, then that has to be the truth. And we're not really looking to see just because that person is on our side. And that's just not, it's not the way to run a small town. It's not the way to run a country. You want people that you can respect. And I know, Cole, that you think that a lot of people that are in Congress right now are not to be respected, but some of them are. I just cannot believe that 100% are not.
This goes back to my question that we were talking about yesterday, Mom. Can you be stupid without being ignorant?
And we debated this. I mean, and my first answer was, yes, I think you can be stupid without being ignorant, because I think stupid is you just don't know. Ignorant is,
no, that's
what
you
don't know.
You don't have the capability of even figuring it out. So, yeah, I hear what you're saying.
I do think you can be stupid without being ignorant. I think it's less common.
Do you think the opposite is true? Can you be ignorant without being stupid?
Yes. I know lots of very smart people who are ignorant.
I think the fact that you know it, not that you know the people, but that you know that you're ignorant and choose to not do anything about it is where I go into stupidity.
I get that.
I think that is a stupid action. I don't think that makes you stupid, but I think
So
there
what
would be
does?
a different.
6 stupid actions make you stupid? And I'm not asking to be funny. Like I'm genuinely curious. Like at what point? Like what is that threshold that it's a stupid action? How many stupid actions do you get before you are stupid? You know. And I think that you can apply that again at every level of government, and I think that you can apply that to every level of people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I don't think that it's one or the other.
I mean, there are things that I'm stupid about.
Absolutely. Me too.
Well, there are things that you are ignorant of, but just because there are things you are ignorant of doesn't make you stupid.
I would agree completely.
I know. I think I can be both of those things, though, and it not be deliberate.
Let me give you an example. You are ignorant of many of the mechanics of the computers that we work with. That doesn't mean you're stupid. It means you don't know.
But you know that you don't know, and you know to raise your hand and say, hey, I don't know how to do this. Can somebody help me? But you also know most of the time, but you also know, hold on, I know that Cole has already told me that I need to do, oh yeah, this is what I need to do to go ahead and start troubleshooting. And so you do those things. And so while you may be ignorant of exactly what the problem is and how to fix it, you are not stupid.
Agree.
Okay. I
think
I
that
appreciate
goes to all
that
of us.
conversation, but I'm not sure.
You shouldn't. So this goes back to an episode from a while back. We need to be specific with the words that we're using. And I'm guilty of it too. But like, again, Mom, you're not stupid. And it's frustrating sometimes when I say, hey, I'm trying to get a point across to you about a subject that you are ignorant of. But I don't think you're stupid because I'm frustrated with you.
And the funny thing is Mom, you get mad at me. I'll go, okay, really quick, stupid question. Callie, you're allowed to ask questions. Callie, stop saying that. And then you kind of do the same thing.
Damn.
I think that we're all guilty of this.
Yeah.
About various topics. I think that it gets really
extremely
dangerous.
Ignorant of reality TV and chick flicks and stuff like that.
But I got you, Cole. But I think that the stupidity becomes really dangerous when those people are in power. And that could be any sort of power. They're an influencer on the internet. They're the president of the United States. They're the city council president, like whatever it may be. The moment that they have impact and influence over other people, I think that it becomes really dangerous.
I think I found the difference between ignorant and stupid.
Let's hear it.
Ignorant is not knowing. Stupid is knowing and not understanding.
Yes.
Do you think people know that they're stupid?
Some of them.
I mean,
most
they're ignorant of their stupidity.
Do you think this police chief thinks he's stupid?
I was just about to ask.
And is just, I mean, doubling down.
He's going to find out that he is soon, I hope.
And it's going to cost him a lot.
But quite clearly, it doesn't seem like he knows it.
I'm super curious if he does. And it's just...
Well, if he does, then why doesn't he come out and say, hey, I was wrong, I'm sorry?
Because some people have trouble saying that.
That's stupid.
I mean, sometimes it's really hard for me to say, I screwed up, I'm sorry. So it's hard for me to throw stones.
It's like the guy, we talked that we weren't going to bring this up and we don't need to, but I'm bringing it up anyway. The guy the police officer who pulled over the woman who doesn't have her right hand.
Hand to God.
Hand to God. Like, oh my God. And we talked about this specifically. How hard is it to say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I got that wrong.
Yeah.
Nope. You have to double down. That's required.
Yeah. I saw you with a phone in your right hand and she has no right hand. And she says,
are you sure?
No. And he still finds her.
Do you want to call this a day? Do we want to just go on about our day?
She was
She
hysterical.
gave him the opportunity.
She was hysterical. And he wrote her citation, and then he had to come back and say, never mind.
I'm pretty sure he went to court.
Yeah, I don't think it was him that said never mind, but I don't know. I think that we all individually, no matter what level of government or influence or power or stupidity we may be at, I think that we need to be cognizant of ourselves and our actions. We can only control the things that we can control. We can only control how we react and respond to things. And I think that we need to be better as a society at saying, shoot, I was wrong here. Yeah.
I think we need to be better at controlling our reactions, too, to be perfectly honest with you.
Also true.
I agree with that. And I think you have to have a community that you're willing to hear say, what are you thinking? Back up.
Accountability.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on. Do you want to try that again?
Yeah.
Here are some additional facts. Do you want to take another shot at that?
Yeah. And some humility.
That's my thing. I need to go put that on my dating app. The world would be a better place with more humility and dogs.
True on both counts. Who's got a weird thought other than this one?
I have a weird thought for you. I have a very weird thought. So,
speaking of dogs.
Yeah, speaking of dogs, I can't remember if it was yesterday or Saturday, but I was on a break while I was at work, and I've got 15 minutes for my break. So I walked into the living room, and Mom's dog, Augie, was laying there. So I started loving on him, giving him scratches, and then I grabbed one of his back feet and was looking at it. And on one of Augie's back feet, he has 6 toes. He's got his 4 normal forward-facing toes, and he has 2 dew claws.
Mom's little mutant dog.
Mom's little mutant dog. And I had done some research previously. There are specific dog breeds that intentionally have double dew claws, particularly in your mountain working breeds, dogs that are spending a lot of time in mountainous terrain. It helps them with their grip. And for those of you who are unaware, most dogs have front dew claws, but very rarely do dogs have rear dew claws, except for these specific breeds. And those dew claws kind of function as like a thumb. It helps them grip things. It can help them climb steep inclines. But it, again, very uncommon for dogs to have rear dew claws. But I got to thinking, and I was like, well, all dogs are descendant from wolves, and wolves live in mountainous terrain oftentimes. Do wolves have dew claws? So I went and looked it up, and they don't. And so then that got my ticker ticking, and I said, well, if wolves don't have dew claws on their back feet, how do dogs have them? Where did that come from? So I started doing some research and looking into it, and for those of you who weren't aware, dogs, cats, bears, and other carnivorans share a common ancestor from 50,000 years ago, the Miasis, which is basically a tree weasel. It kind of looks like
million.
50 million, 50 to 60 million years ago. That is basically just a tree weasel. And they were the first species to develop both front and rear dew claws, and they used them for climbing. I thought it was fascinating, but also really weird. So thanks, little mutant dog.
It was a weird
Augie.
thought. As I'm sitting there reading my book, when you walk in and go, well, where did dew claws come from? If wolves don't have them, I'm like, speaking
Why
of
do you
stupid.
care? It was, for those of you at home, Cole came in and was like, aha, I have figured it out.
He was
old
so proud.
Tree weasels. Huh? What? Did you know that Augie was related to an old tree? A what? It was pretty funny.
They're not the only ones I told. I told everyone at work, too.
Of course you did. Because Cole is neither ignorant nor stupid. He's going to educate all of us.
I got to make sure nobody else is either.
See, I love it. You're just looking out, Cole. I appreciate it. Always looking out.
Funny. Too funny.
Because 50 million year old facts about tree weasels I'm going to be on Jeopardy or something one day, and that's going to come up, and I'm going to be like,
I know this. My brother taught me.
Yeah.
You better split your winnings with me.
We'll see. But
I have the good news. Mine's a little bit more common, I guess. So this is an interesting story about an F-250 and robin's eggs. Did you know, Cole, that robins are protected?
I do now.
Under a Migratory Bird Treaty Act of 1918, which was enacted to protect migratory birds between Canada and the U.S., it is unlawful to pursue, hunt, take, capture, kill, sell about 1,100 species of migratory birds. This includes their feathers, their eggs, and their nest. So, when a blue robin builds her nest on a tire in the wheel well of an F-250 on a dealership parking lot in Kansas, and the vehicle gets sold, they have to wait until the fledglings are old enough to leave the nest before they can move the vehicle.
they found the eggs first, then had to wait for the eggs to hatch, then become fledglings so that they can leave the nest because they're all protected.
Somewhere between 14 and 16 days that they anticipate that the fledglings will leave the nest.
And the only reason this car dealership in Kansas hasn't started an international incident with the nation of Canada is because someone apparently is like me and they were like, oh, weird things. Did you know that robins are federally protected?
We can't move that nest right now.
And I just want to say kudos to the new owners of the F-250 who are graciously waiting for the little robins to grow up and leave
I don't
home.
have much choice.
I was going to say, they could be impatient and angry as all get out. But what can they
Tough.
do?
Now, let me just put a little glitch here. If the nest is protected, does that mean an empty nest is protected or only when the fledglings are in the nest? So if the fledglings leave, can they remove the nest?
I
Yes.
assign homework to Cole to read the Migratory Bird Treaty Act of 1819 and report back.
I second that.
If I recall correctly, those small
'Cause he
bit of
already
research
has.
I did on it earlier, occupied nests are protected.
That's what I anticipate. But I mean, can you imagine this? A little bird's nest with 4 little birds in it sitting on your F-250 and you can't move it?
Hey, big truck people, I know you're so excited about your truck, but you're going to have to wait. There's eggs in it. Excuse me?
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
They're getting ready to hatch and we can't move them right now. Okay.
Tertiary weird thought stemming from this.
It's a weird thought episode.
How many people every year in the United States do you think are in breach of an international treaty?
Oh, yeah.
I bet it's more than a handful.
It's their feathers are included in this. So every time you're on a hike and you pick up a feather,
If it's a
you
robin's feather or one of
1,100
the
others
other 1,100 other
species.
species.
Yeah.
Right. I was going to say, I suspect that at some point, I mean, we grew up in the country and I have picked up, I mean, I guess I never picked up inhabited nests, but for sure picked up feathers and things like that.
No, but we had a nest.
Sorry,
It was
Canada.
finches. And I would assume finches were migratory, but they built a nest in my aloe vera plant.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. They built their little nest and had their little eggs and babies there, and they would talk back to you when you walked out on the patio
Yeah.
because they
Feed
didn't
me,
like
I'm
you.
hungry.
They didn't like you messing with, being around their nest. So I didn't move it.
If you had
Yay
a
for me.
big, weird, redheaded stranger walking into your house, you may not be much of a fan either.
She'd just think it was you. Okay. I'm looking at this list. Like, there's a lot of species on here,
Yeah.
including ducks. How do you kill ducks? I mean, I guess if they're in season, then you can.
Yeah,
Ducks,
but there's
flamingos,
also, like-
doves, cuckoos, swifts, cranes, cormorants, loons. I mean, there's tons. Storks, pelicans, hawks, owls. I mean, there's a ton. Woodpeckers, falcons.
I still want to go back, and I didn't do this, and figure out why we needed a treaty in 1918 about these birds.
I think it
'Cause
was
it was
updated in
political with Canada.
2023.
I think that's interesting. I'll have to do some research
Without
on
a
that.
permit.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I figured. Okay, so we had triple weird thoughts, but it was a good story when you got people who are willing to wait for their pickup truck. So,
Thanks for taking one for the team, truck owners.
yeah. Love you guys.
Love y'all.
Love you too.